Hey, happy Wednesday, and welcome to Dave's After Hour Trivia Club, broadcasting live from the cozy corners of Curiosity Central here in the beautiful upstate of South Carolina. Grab your favorite drink, find a comfy spot, and do settle in. Tonight isn't just about trivia, it's about curiosity, memories, and the thrill of discovering something you didn't know that you already knew. Now, we do usually go live on Sunday with the After Hours Trivia Club, and now again on Wednesdays with our Best of Trivia Club show, always at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So do mark your calendars and don't be a stranger. Now, tonight, our categories are: first, we're going to explore the top 20 countdown of the greatest war movies ever made. Greatest war movies. Then we will visit the top 20 Gene Hackman movies. And we do have a bonus round standing by if we have enough interest for that as a third round later on. We'll check in again later on. And hey, don't forget to visit davidhansonart.com. That's me, of course, and that's the art that you've been seeing up and around and things. You can get some of our cover art from tonight's show. Every piece tells a story, and now some of them can actually hang on your wall at home or in the office, of course. Now, do say hi in the chat. This is where you will throw out a wild guess, or you can just hang out and enjoy the ride. That's okay too. Hey, Arena's in the house. Good to see you, Arena. Now, I'm glad that the early bird is here, so we'll see who else comes in the door. But let's go ahead and cue up our first round. We're gonna fire up the robots and let the games begin. Alrighty, you know the rules. Robots paint, you guess, and I do give you some clues that are pretty helpful along the way, especially on war movies. We'll see how you do. Alright. Top 20 countdown greatest war movies ever. Number 20. A relentless race against time that was filmed as one astonishing continuous take. World War I trenches like you've never seen. No editing room breathers here. It's kind of like Dunkirk's hyper-focused cousin with fewer words, and there's more sprinting. Hey, Stuart, you are correct, of course. Good to see you. War movies meet marathon filmmaking. Hope your endurance holds. Now, this was interesting, right? With the one, I didn't really place it when I watched it the first time. I don't think I knew that. But then you start thinking about it and you go, wow, this is all one thing. It was interesting. This film redefined immersion, placing viewers alongside the soldiers in a breathtakingly stressful yet gripping cinematic ride. And yes, indeed, you are correct. It was 1917, but it was made in the year 2019. Not to be confused. Yeah, 1917. Cool movie. Different. Very different. And it made number 20 on our list. There you go. Alrighty. Number 19. War poetry, lush jungles, and existential dread. Classic Terrence Malick. Guadalcanal battle sequences with beauty oddly mixed into brutality. Guadalcanal. Philosophical soldiers asking existential questions amidst the bullets. It's not just a war film, it's a meditation under fire. Okay. Not just a war film. Malick turned World War II genre into artful contemplation, proving war's greatest battles sometimes rage within. Not Platoon, but it looks kind of like Platoon, right? This is World War II, where Platoon was, of course, the Vietnam War. Oh, but maybe you're just being clairvoyant. That happens in this game. This was The Thin Red Line. The Thin Red Line. Oh, there you go. You had it. Very good. This was filmed in 1998. Thin Red Line. I think is that Sean Penn there? I think that's Sean Penn there. Looks like him. It's not him. It looks like him. All right, number 18. Stuart. We're going to have to let the picture unfold a little bit. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen versus the Jungle. Charlie's been making the podcast circuit lately. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if he has a book or something. Not sure what's going on there. Spoiler, the jungle wins. Moral ambiguity in Vietnam never looked more raw or intense. There you go. There you go. You knew that was coming up, no matter what. And do you remember Willem Dafoe? Willem Dafoe's iconic fall isn't just cinematic; it's legendary tragedy. There you go. Oliver Stone, of course. Oliver Stone's wartime memories turn powerful drama. This is indeed a personal and uncompromising portrayal of Vietnam's chaos, making audiences feel its pain and confusion firsthand. And you are correct. Platoon. Is that what it is? It's a book, right? Yeah, I know he's been making the podcast circuit. Yeah. Trying to be rejuvenated. Resuscitated. There you go. Platoon, 1986. Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone. Great movie. All right. Won a bunch of awards, right? I think so. Number 17. Another good one. This one is an action-packed crash course on what can go wrong. Very wrong. Mogadishu turns into one relentless battlefield. And this is our favorite director, Mr. Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott gives war realism a whole new explosive meaning. Buckle up. It's relentless from start to finish. Cool picture. Right? Mogadishu. There you go. Based on real events, Scott's visceral storytelling highlights bravery amid devastating chaos. And yes, Stuart, you are correct. You are correct. This is Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down. Anybody remember what year this was from? Most of these are a little older. This one's definitely a little older. I didn't realize it was this long ago. But Black Hawk Down, Ridley Scott. I don't remember the actors in this. I don't remember. 2001 was the year. 2001. There you go. All right. Yeah, you had it. Pretty good. All right, number 16. A pacifist in a war zone. That's Desmond Doss. He actually saved 75 men without ever firing a gun. This is one of our favorite directors that did this. I'm going to let you guess who directed this movie. I'll leave that open. The director directs a blood-soaked sermon on courage. One of the rare films where the hero never pulled the trigger. No, you're close. You're close, but not Heartbreak Ridge. Yeah, there you go. That's correct. And who was the director? You remember? One of our favorites. Doss's real-life bravery earned him the Medal of Honor. Hopkins might have played him stoically, but Garfield gives him raw nobility. And yes, Hacksaw Ridge is correct. Hacksaw Ridge, 2016. And our favorite director is Mr. Mel Gibson. Yeah, this is a Mel Gibson thing. Yeah, you knew. I knew you knew. Okay. This is your favorite painting style also, Stuart. I don't know if you noticed that. This is back in the day. I don't remember when we did this, but it's close to a year ago. Yeah. All right. British POWs building a bridge for their enemies. Yeah. Whistling past the graveyard, literally, with that iconic tune. That's right, there's a whistling song in this movie. Kind of like the Clint Eastwoods have the whistling. Yeah. It's a great movie, right? I remember seeing this movie. I don't know how old I was the first time I saw this movie. I'm sure it was on television. I'm not sure it was on television. It might have been coming back through the theaters, like the drive-in maybe or something. Honor, duty, and madness mixed at the speed of a train. Alec Guinness, his performance leads this cinematic masterwork, raising questions of pride versus pragmatism. And you are correct, it is the bridge on the River Kwai. How about a guess at the year? This is way back in the day. Any guesses on what year they made this movie? It was cool. I liked it. I loved it. That checks in at number 15 on our list of top war movies. Counting down. And that was from the year 1957. 1957. All right, number 14. A little more modern. One of our favorite actors, Mr. Brad Pitt, runs a tank crew with grit, grime, and moral grayness. Moral grayness. I like that. The final days of World War II through a Sherman's narrow hatch. Yeah, exactly. War is hell, and so is the mud, the blood, and the brotherhood. This is not your granddad's war film, unless your granddad was in a tank. Then it's cool. Gritty and claustrophobic, this film puts the metal in mental toll with harrowing realism inside a rolling war machine. You are correct. The name of the movie was Fury. Fury. I don't know, did it do very well at the box office? I'm thinking it maybe didn't do all that well. Brad Pitt in Fury. Seems like Brad would have brought some people in the theater. 2014. And at number 14 takes us to number 13 on the top war movies of all time, according to the robot. Number 13, the Civil War's first African-American regiment takes the front line. Matthew Broderick, Morgan Freeman, and one of the show's favorite actors is also in it, which I'll make you guess who the star is. marching into history with courage and cannon fire. Proof that real glory comes with sacrifice. Ah. Civil War, First African American Regiment. Yeah, that's the name of the movie. How about the lead actor? One of our favorites here on the show. This stirring portrayal of the 54th Massachusetts reminds us the fight for freedom often happens within the ranks. There you go. A lot of infighting. A lot of tension. You're correct. It is Glory. Glory from 1989. And one of our favorite actors, Mr. Denzel Washington. Denzel. Oh, you got it. Oh, I didn't say Denzel. I said Matthew Broderick, Morgan Freeman, and one of our favorite actors. I didn't say it. You heard it, though. You must have heard it. You're not listening to me on replay, are you? Maybe I said it last time. Are you listening to the replay in one ear? Is that how you know all these? Number 12. This one's hard. A Child's Eyes, a war horror, seen, felt, and endured. No film more visceral, disturbing, or emotionally shattering. Belarus becomes a waking nightmare of human atrocity. Yeah, it was the young Denzel. Old school. Original gangster Denzel. Anyway, this one's tough. Prepare to be shaken, not stirred. This was kind of low key, right? This is a Soviet masterpiece, and it's not for the faint of heart. It's chilling dive into psychological toll of genocide and war. But the robots put it on the top war movie list. Through a Child's Eyes, a war's horror. Oh, you know it. Very good. Good job. You are correct. Come and See. 1985. 1985. Very good. Impressive. That was probably the hardest one in the batch, so should be good. This one was cool. Christopher Nolan's time-bending war epic without a central character. That was the interesting thing about this. It was almost like it was a docu-pic or something, you know? There was no central character. There were 3 timelines. One was on the beach, and there was barely any dialogue. Oh, you watched the last one, huh? Interesting. No, I still haven't. We always talk about how I put them on my list. Well, apparently I don't have enough time to watch them. Yes, you are correct. A survival thriller wrapped in historical valor. By stripping back the dialogue, Christopher Nolan creates a sensory war experience that emphasizes tension over traditional storytelling. Yeah, I felt a little tension watching that. You never knew, when the planes were coming in, and yeah, it was sketchy. Dunkirk, 2017. Interesting story too with the civilian Navy that came to help get people off the beach. That was pretty cool. Cool story, although it didn't have much of a story. All right, top 10. Top 10. This one's easy. Here we go. I'm not going to tell you the actor. You have to guess the actor. Because he learns Bushido surprisingly earnestly. Japan modernizes Q epic battles. Beautifully choreographed, emotionally earnest, and politically messy. A white savior tale with better than expected depth. Hate those white savior tales. While the narrative leans Hollywood, the cultural respect and artistry elevate this into something both epic and elegant. Yeah. So, name of the movie and the actor. Robots have it as one of the top war movies, which I guess it is a war movie. As Japan modernizes, the samurai resist. Cue epic battles. And yes, The Last Samurai. And Mr. Tom Cruise. Another one of our favorites. We're going to have to revisit Tom pretty soon. Haven't seen Tom in a long time. Maybe we can do Tom's second 20 best movies. Not the top 20, top 40. Top 40. There you go. All right, number 9. War movies. We're doing war movies. Counting down war movies. The Vietnam War's early days get a bloody, boots on the ground retelling. Oh, again, one of our favorite directors. But he's in it. He's in the movie. I don't know or not also, but he is in the movie. And he's a commander who leads from the front. Brotherhood forged in gunfire, intense and heartbreaking. We were soldiers and fathers and husbands. It balances brutality with honor, showing war's emotional and physical devastation from all sides of the battlefield. So, who's one of our favorite actors? We have a lot of favorite actors. Hey, Jan, what's going on? This one is not the steel jacket or the metal jacket. This is a different one. It is Mr. Mel Gibson. That's Mel there. And I can't remember if he also directed that. But hang on to that answer. That might come up later, though. the steel jacket. This was called We Were Soldiers. We Were Soldiers. And it was starring Mel Gibson. 2002. Okay, number 8. Now, this one's going all the way back to 1957, okay? And it is Stanley Kubrick's black and white condemnation of military bureaucracy. A court-martial becomes a war crime in slow motion. And get this. Kirk Douglas stands tall in a trench full of cowards above him. Kirk Douglas. Stanley Kubrick. Kirk Douglas, 1957. It's not about battles, it's about injustice. Kubrick's icy brilliance makes this anti-war classic timeless and terrifying in its moral clarity. Yeah, you got it, Stuart. That's correct. I don't think I've ever seen this either. Have you seen it, Stuart? Is this pretty good? It sounded a little bit interesting. Black and white condemnation of military bureaucracy. Court-martial becomes a war crime in slow motion. Paths of Glory is correct. Paths of Glory. Yeah, okay. Really good, huh? I got to go back and watch that one. Of course. Yeah. I'm going to have the robots remember everything I said. Oh, okay. Well, we're doing fairly well for us on this end, on the internet tonight. So we'll cross our fingers. This was a popular one. This won a bunch of awards. Before and after Vietnam, how war changes everything. Little game of Russian roulette is a metaphor and a memory. Blue-collar Pennsylvania life is interrupted by jungle trauma. Yeah. A little PTSD at play here. A slow burn. We love those slow burns. A slow burn that ends with a bullet and a prayer. This haunting film lingers in the psyche, exploring war's long shadow over friendship, identity, and the American dream. Gotta love that. You are correct, of course. Do you remember how far back this was? Yeah, Christopher Walken. Yeah, Ed De Niro. Yeah. Who else is in it? Can't remember. Good movie though. All the way back in the day. The haunting film lingers in the psyche. Yeah. Deer Hunter is correct. The Deer Hunter. All the way back in 1978. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I know. Definitely does seem like yesterday. All right, this one's very popular. Number 6. D-Day like you've never seen it before. And you probably can't unsee it. Spielberg's brutal realism redefined the war genre. One life justified by the sacrifice of many. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. And of course, our lead actor he's the one on the right there, I think. That guy on the right is our lead actor. The beach scene steals the movie. It does. And it's all kind of downhill from there. It's hard to stay with it after that, wasn't it? Beyond the unforgettable opening, it's a meditation on duty, memory, and the meaning of sacrifice. And yes, indeed, you're correct. It is Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan from the year 1998. And of course, our lead actor there is Mr. Tom Hanks. There he is. Forrest Gump himself. Hey, on I think it's Sunday we got Elizabeth Taylor, but we also have Oscar snubs. So two good ones on Sunday. Elizabeth Taylor and the Elizabeth Taylor movies, and then Oscar snubs. That should be good. This one didn't get completely snubbed. Once again, Jan's favorite actor, face painted, sword raised, yelling freedom. Scottish rebellion meets poetic license. I haven't got to say Scottish in a while. Blood, bagpipes, and broadswords in glorious slow motion. Yes. Of course. Of course. Blood, bagpipes, and broadswords. Historically shaky, but emotionally rousing. Whether you fact check or not, it's a rousing war epic full of heart and guts. Quite literally. Yeah, that's the hey Jan. Jan's got it. Yeah, that's the rap. It is historically inaccurate. And it is Jan's favorite actor, Mel Gibson. Yeah, the Armstrong family. Exactly. My heritage. A little bit of Scottish. Little Danish, little Scottish. All right, number 4. There you go, Jan. This is my rifle. There are many like it. You know the rest. Once again, Stanley Kubrick splits Vietnam into boot camp and battlefield. Two different things. R. Lee Ermey defines the drill sergeant trope forever. Yeah, this made me glad that I didn't get drafted out of high school to go to Vietnam. I would have hated to go through boot camp. Oh my god. Correct, Stuart. Correct. Full, or as Jan would say, full steel jacket. Which, you know, I don't know whether it's some steel or not. Lead. Lead. War breaks you one insult or bullet at a time. This was a interesting movie. It definitely stuck with you. Cold, clinical, and unforgettable, Kubrick shows that war dehumanizes long before the first shot is fired. I can't remember the very vivid scene. It was like attacking the one city in Vietnam. Was it Hue or something like that? Anyway, it was interesting. All right, here's one of my favorites. One of my definitely top 10 movies, absolutely on the list. And I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Vietnam meets Heart of Darkness. Yes, that's exactly right. In psychedelic chaos. That's a great line. Vietnam meets Heart of Darkness in psychedelic chaos. There you go. A descent into madness led by Brando's murmur and Sheen's stare. Yeah, it smells like victory. So it's still super vivid though. The scene in the beginning when he's all hungover and he goes to that meet the general in his trailer and he has those lobster things, shrimp lobsters. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey Jan, that's a good way to put it. If the doctor was in the house, that would have been his answer. He would have done a short one to get it out fast. Apocalypse Now is correct. 1979. 1979. War is hell, but this journey is something stranger. Coppola's fever dream of a film captures war's moral collapse like no other, terrifying, surreal, and essential. And I don't know, I'll watch it. Yeah. You know, you catch something new every time. You get the director's cut. Yeah. All right, number 2 war movie. Here we go. Sweeping desert vistas, epic storytelling, and a very complex hero. A British officer becomes a legend. And a question mark. Sand, politics, and power dynamics swirl across the screen. Lean's magnum opus still dazzles more than 60 years later. Still dazzles. Correct. And of course, our actor is, who, interesting story about the actor, and he may show up on Sunday. He definitely may show up on, yeah, David Lean, correct. Peter O'Toole and Omar Sharif. And yeah, Peter O'Toole may show up on Sunday in another cameo. Peter O'Toole's luminous performance anchors this sweeping epic that defines what cinematic grandeur truly means. Lawrence of Arabia! Got those blue eyes. I think he wore contacts before they could colorize it. Maybe they colorized it. All right, now I don't know if this fits in the war movie, but we'll give it to him. This is our woke robots. A black and white masterpiece that paints the Holocaust in raw truth. One man's redemption through thousands of saved lives. Now, it is a great story. You know, we have to admit it is a great story. I'm not sure it fits as number 1 in the war movies, but it's a great story. Heart-wrenching, unforgettable, essential viewing. Not a traditional war film, no, but the most powerful story about war's horror. Spielberg delivers a staggering portrait of moral courage amid humanity's darkest chapter. No war film has ever cut deeper. Yes, of course. And the iconic image, black and white, with a little dash of red. Just a dash. Schindler's List is correct. 1993, Steven Spielberg's Opus Magnus, or whatever they call that. Yeah. All right, we made it to the war movies. Very good. Good job. I think you got them all, sir, didn't you? Pretty sure. Okay, well, good job. All right, now I do have a quick lightning round intermission. About a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and it is supermodels. So if you were thinking you were going to leave during the intermission, you might not want to. So let's see if you can guess any of the supermodels. Here we go. Yeah, you got a few of those. Did you get that last one? Kind of fun. That last one, I think, was Giselle. I think so. Adriana Lima was in there somewhere. Cindy Crawford, I think, was in there. Anyway. All right, let's do round two. Again, Gene Hackman movie, so that should be fun. Let's get it going. All right, you know the rules. Robots do the painting around here. That means you guys have to do the guessing, and I will give you some clues that will be helpful. So let's do it. Let's do it to it. Top 20 Gene Hackman movies. It doesn't really look like in there. Yeah, no. All right, number 20. Now this one's a little offbeat. I'm telling you. A little offbeat. He's a gruff cop forced to partner with Dan Aykroyd. This odd couple buddy flick is part crime caper and partly a zany farce. Sounds weird. The plot involves Nazis, explosions, and some wild improv. Sounds weird. Not his most acclaimed movie, but hey, even legends like to throw curveballs. Hackman plays MacArthur Stern. Yeah, you know it. Did you see it? I'm not sure I saw it. I might have seen it like when it came out on cable or something. Might have seen it when it came out on cable. But I don't think I went to a theater to see it. At least I don't remember it. Loose Cannons is correct. Loose Cannons from the year 1990. Hackman only took the role after Dan Aykroyd personally called him to pitch it. He was probably sorry. Yeah, 1990. Yeah. Around the same time as this next one, and pretty obscure. He's a military man caught in a Cold War conspiracy. Co-starring Tommy Lee Jones. That's cool. Maybe we could do Tommy Lee Jones. This tense thriller flies under the radar. There's a mysterious prisoner, political backstabbing, and action in snowy Berlin. That's not familiar at all? No? If you like your Hackman with a buzz cut and a mission, this one's for you. He commands the screen as Sergeant Johnny Gallagher, or Gallagher, in the movie. It's a Cold War thing. Sergeant Johnny Gallagher. Yeah, 1989. 1989, almost the same time as Loose Cannons. This was called The Package. The Package. Director Andrew Davis went on to helm The Fugitive, giving this film a familiar kinetic edge. Must have been buddies with Tommy Lee. All right, now let's go even further back in time, and one of our favorite semi-comedy movies. Disaster strikes at sea, and he's not going down without a fight. He's playing a rebellious Reverend Gene. He leads survivors through an upside-down ocean liner. I don't know, a teenager when I watched this, and I liked it. The film launched the 1970s disaster movie craze. This was I don't know if it was the very first one. I think it might have been. He climbs, shouts, and makes theology look action-packed. Yeah, you remember this movie? There were some funny characters, funny actors played funny roles, I think, in this movie. I remember Shelley Winters. Some of those other actresses from back in the day were in it too. Hackman inspires hope and some yelling as Reverend Scott in the Poseidon Adventure. Yeah. It was, pretty cool back then, right? The tidal wave tips it over, it's upside down, so everything's upside down. The scene where they fall down from the chandeliers. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Poseidon Adventure. Number 17. These are all back in the day. 1985. Midlife crisis alert. He ditches his wife for a younger woman. This drama takes a soft sad look at long marriages and sudden changes. His performance is quiet, tender, and deeply human. Not many explosions, just emotional ones. He plays Harry Mackenzie in this movie. Now, the film's co-stars Ellen Burstyn. Ellen Burstyn and, in this picture, Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret. So that's pretty star-studded. Gene Hackman, Ellen Burstyn, and Anne Margaret in 1985. Yeah. Remember it? (1985) Ellen Burstyn, Anne Margaret, Gene Hackman, Oscar pedigree across the board. Twice in a lifetime. Twice in a lifetime. I don't know if that alludes to he actually fell in love twice in a lifetime. Maybe. Not your cup of tea. Well, this next one probably wasn't either. Gene had some breadth. He had breadth. Hackman, get this, Hackman in drag. Need we say more? He plays a conservative senator whose world collides with South Beach fabulousness. His reaction to Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are comedy gold. That's right, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. They were something else together. I wonder if they improvised a lot of their lines in this movie, probably. Watching him eat soup in awkward silence has become legendary. I remember that scene. He steals laughs as Senator Keeley in, what was the name of this movie? Robin Williams and Nathan Lane and Gene Hackman. Hackman was reportedly nervous about doing comedy, but this role proved he had perfect timing. He's nervous. All right. This one's called The Birdcage. Birdcage. This won some awards or something, didn't it? I think so. I saw it. Pretty good. All right. Well, you know, put that one on your list. It's kind of weird, but won awards. They won awards. All right, this one was pretty cool. In this dusty Western showdown, Hackman's the fastest and the meanest gun in town. He is the villain you love to hate. Now, I'm going to make you guess who he gets in, which actors he gets in gunfights with. Because he fights everybody. He's the villain you love to hate. He hosts a deadly quick draw contest just to flex his power. That's right, it's a contest. Behind the trigger-happy tyranny is a complex man with a brutal past. He dominates as the character Herod. Herod is his name in this. And he fights some famous movie stars. One's definitely a little offbeat. Do you remember this movie at all? It was a little different. He was Herod. He was a quick draw. He has a contest, and he ends up fighting. Yeah, Quick and the Dead. Very good. Russell Crowe, Leo DiCaprio, and, surprisingly, Sharon Stone. This is, you know, I kind of like Sharon Stone after this. She looked pretty good in this. She had a surfer girl look in this. Surfer girl, cowboy. Yeah. All right, I think you'll know this one too. This is a Vietnam War tale with tension, maps, and Morse code. Hackman plays a downed Air Force colonel. I remember this movie. It's pretty good. Downed Air Force colonel dodging enemies with only a radio for company. I do remember this. Danny Glover plays his lifeline in the sky. Literally. The drama is understated, but the stakes couldn't be higher. He plays Colonel Iceal Hambleton. Iceal Hambleton. Do you remember this movie? Vietnam War tale. Downed Air Force pilot. Yeah. Exactly. For some reason, there's an asterisk in the title also. I don't know why. But yes, Bat 21 is correct. Yeah, I don't know what the asterisk has to do with. Based on a true story. Military rescue protocol after the incident. All right, number 13. Yes, number 13. Let's do something more legal. Ever wonder who really controls a jury? Hackman's character has the answers. As a slick, immoral jury consultant, he oozes control and intimidation. He butts heads with John Cusack and Dustin Hoffman in a tense courtroom chess match. Legal thrillers rarely get this personal or this cutthroat. Legal thriller. He manipulates justice as a guy named Rankin Fitch. Rankin Fitch in this movie. This was Hackman's final film role before retiring. He went out with scheming style. Oh, I didn't realize this was his final movie. There you go. 2003. So he was retired a while. Before he passed recently, last year, right? Yeah. Runaway Jury. Runaway Jury. Isn't it a John Grisham story? I think so. Runaway Jury. It's all about the jury consultants, how important they are. Basically, right? Yeah. All right, I think you'll know this one. Nuclear launch codes, underwater mutiny, Hackman, and Denzel. Enough said. He plays a hardline sub-captain in a moral showdown. 20,000 Leagues tense. The philosophical debate could blow up the world. Literally. Their arguments are Shakespearean. No, really. There's quoting involved. He commands the USS Alabama as Captain Frank Ramsey in, you are correct, Roll Tide, the Crimson Tide. There you go. You are correct. Quentin Tarantino secretly doctored the dialogue, adding unexpected flair to an already explosive script. That sounds interesting. Quentin Tarantino. I don't know what he was doing in there. Crimson Tide. 1995. 1995. Number 11 on the Gene Hackman Top 20 list. It's Tom Cruise's movie, but Hackman quietly steals every scene. That sounds right. He plays a weary lawyer with conscience. caught in a law firm's dirty dealings. His character is both morally gray and heartbreakingly human. Their beachside conversation might be the film's emotional high point. He plays a guy named Avery Toller. Avery Toller. Toller. T-O-L-A-R. Yeah. That's definitely a John Grisham story, right? Definitely. And Tom Cruise was good in it. The young lawyer, the young corrupted lawyer. Hackman only agreed to the role after Cruise lobbied for more scenes together, and that was a wise move. The Firm, 1993. That checks in at number 11. So that means we got the top 10. Top 10. Now, I might be able to stump you with the next one. We'll see. Good movie, this next one, but people forget that Gene Hackman was in it, I think. A powerful man hiding a deadly secret. Classic Hackman. He's the Secretary of Defense, involved in a cover-up so twisted it bends time. So there you go. Secretary of Defense involved in a cover-up. His chess game with Kevin Costner is pure psychological warfare. The finale packs a twist that still gets whispered about. Kevin Costner. He pulls the strings and loses grip as David Bryce. David Bryce is his character. The film's final twist was so bold, test audiences had to rewatch it just to believe it. It did have a big twist. A big twist. This is back in 1987, if that's helpful. Kevin Costner. There he is. Tangled. There's a woman in the movie too. I can't remember. Can't remember the details on that. This was called No Way Out. No Way Out. Does that sound familiar? No Way Out. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie, I think. Costner liked it. Yeah. It was a Costner movie, really, but it's like Gene Hackman a lot of times played the second fiddle. A lot of times. And stole the scenes as the second fiddle. All right, I think you know this one. He was not second fiddle in this. Popeye Doyle's back. So this is the one where Popeye's back. This time in France and out of his depth. He stumbles through language barriers, addiction, and betrayal in a gritty sequel. This is the sequel. Hackman goes deeper into Doyle's psyche, showing cracks in the badge. It's less flashy than the original, but twice as emotionally raw. He reprises his Oscar-winning role, so he won an Oscar for the original. Hackman actually disliked the first sequel script so much that he asked for rewrites twice. He's picky. Yeah, there you go. Very good. French Connection 2. Roman numeral 2. I'll accept your 2. I'll accept the number 2. Feeling generous. All right. Top 8. Yeah, I think most people probably think that. He won an award for that one, first one. All right, number 8. Gene Hackman, top 20 movies. An underdog coach with a temper gets one last shot at redemption. He leads a small-town Indiana basketball team to greatness. and earns their respect along the way. His speech delivery, peak sports movie inspiration. Hackman gives quiet, disciplined gravitas in a role full of heart. He coaches with soul as Norman Dale. Norman Dale is the name of his character. The film is based on a true story, and Hackman's character is still revered in Indiana sports circles. So yeah, this movie kind of became a symbol for non-professional basketball in Indiana. High school, I guess. It's called Hoosiers. Hoosiers. This is big. 1986. Hoosiers. Especially if you were into sports, this is a big movie. Inspirational. Inspirational. It's how you inspire a team. Talk about the Hoosiers. All right. Number 7. He's a surveillance expert with a soul and slowly crumbling mind. Uh-oh. Hackman's paranoia grows with every reel click and audio glitch. Few actors can convey so much by saying so little. I remember this movie, and yeah, he made me nervous. He made me really nervous in this movie. The slow burn, we love that. The slow burn unravels into a masterclass in subtle tension. He listens and listens too much as Harry Call. Harry Call. You don't follow basketball stuff. Cricket and rugby, what are those? I've heard of them. I've heard of them. That's funny the way different countries have totally different sports focus. Director Francis Ford Coppola called this Hackman's finest performance. There you go. It's called The Conversation. All the way back in 1974. The Conversation. Francis Ford Coppola. I'd say that's worth a watch. Right there. I would say. And this one's totally related now. Kind of almost like a follow-up 20 years later. A follow-up. A retired spook gets dragged back into the shadows to help Will Smith. I don't know if you remember this story. He plays a recluse with serious tech paranoia. Basically, like a callback to the original Conversation movie we just talked about. Government surveillance, chase scenes, and tinfoil hats. What's not to love? And I liked this movie. I did. Hackman brings gravitas to this sleek thriller without missing a beat. So this movie blew people's minds because they showed, like, CIA, I guess, or whoever what they could see from satellites and how they were all interconnected and they could jump from place to place to follow people. Yeah, it was like, if you're not paranoid after that. Correct. Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State, 1998. Hackman and Smith's chemistry gave the film unexpected heart amid all the data dump and action. Yeah, there was a lot of overlaid graphics. Like, it was cool. Like wearing the Meta glasses, right? The Ray-Bans. Have you seen those? Augmented reality. It's gonna be pretty cool. Ray-Bans. I think they did Oakley's too. They're coming out. All right, I think you'll know this one. Number 5. Forget bald and brooding. His Lex Luthor is a charming egomaniac with flair. Yes, he is. An egomaniac with flair. So we're looking for the movie. He made real estate schemes seem oddly diabolical. Hackman insisted on keeping his hair, meaning he kept his wig. Yeah. He played this big. Yeah, yeah. Do you know? Can you guess the year, Stuart? Can you guess? I can't believe it was this long ago. I can't believe it was this long ago. The first time they did the Superman movie. You know, this was like, so the original superhero movie, right? They hadn't done a Batman before this, had they? I don't think so. He played it big, bold, and just on the edge of camp in the best way. He redefined comic book villainy as Lex Luthor in, you are correct, Superman. Superman. Yeah, you got it. All the way back in 1978. Wow. Hackman initially refused to shave his mustache for the role until director Richard Donner shaved his own in solidarity. There you go. All right, number 4. This is the original. He's rough, relentless, and really into coat collars. Hackman's Popeye Doyle hunts heroin smugglers with grimy intensity. The car chase under the L train. Yeah, I remember that. This is what everyone based their car chases on afterwards. The car chase under the L train, legendary. He won his first Oscar for this gritty street-level crime thriller. Yes, the original. The original, you are correct. Do you know the year on this one? Surprisingly, a long time ago. He made Do You Pick Your Feet? Do You Pick Your Feet in Poughkeepsie? What the heck does that mean? Cinema Canon in French Connection. Oh, I don't like that line. Hackman actually hated the real-life Popeye Doyle, but he used that discomfort to fuel the role's edge. There you go. He didn't like his own character. The French Connection. Yeah, won an Academy Award for that. Yeah. Alrighty, top 3, according to the robots. Let's do them. Here we go. Number 3. He's the lying, scheming patriarch that you still kind of root for. With a pinky ring and a hustle, he tries to win back the family he pushed away. His comedic timing is razor sharp, but layered with heartache. Yeah, I wasn't in it, Stuart. I appreciate you thinking I was in it, but I was not in the French Connection. I was a little young. Yeah. It's not my best work. It's not my best work. That would be my new time travel series where I'm the star. He's equal parts tender and terrible. Remember the name of this one? Critics say it's one of the greatest late career pivots ever. Tender and terrible. Director Wes Anderson. This is the Wes Anderson. Has said Hackman was intimidating, but perfect in the role. And yes, you are correct. It is the Royal Tenenbaums. Royal Tenenbaums, 2001. Top 2. Only 2 left. Here we go. I gotta get me that voice text. I gotta fool around with that. I'm having a hard enough time trying to get the hang of doing ChatGPT or Grok with the voice. You know, not natural for us. That's old folk. In this bleak western, Hackman flips the villain script. He's calm, cruel, and disturbingly reasonable. He plays a sheriff who builds libraries and breaks bones. Yeah, I forgot he built the library. Builds libraries and breaks bones. Opposite Eastwood, he shows what real power looks like in dusty boots. There you go. There you go. Do you know what was Little Bill's last name? You remember that part? That's pretty obscure. He rules the town called Big Whiskey. He rules Big Whiskey as Little Bill in the Unforgiven. Little Bill is, of course, correct. Hackman initially passed on the role due to its violence, but Eastwood personally convinced him. Sounds like a lot of people had to go personally convince him to play different things. Yeah. Little Bill Daggett. There's a little obscure nugget for you. Little Bill Daggett. All right, according to Robots, Gene Hackman's #1 movie was from 1988. A Southern FBI agent who bends the rules in pursuit of justice. Hackman mixes rage and restraint in a film based on true events. And his scenes with William Dafoe crackle with contrast, heat and ice. You know, we haven't seen William Dafoe in much lately, have we? You remember anything with Dafoe recently? You know, you get to be, everybody goes into the superhero things and they never come back. He stands tall as Agent Rupert Anderson. Yeah, you got it. Agent Rupert Anderson in Mississippi Burning. Mississippi Burning. Though controversial, Hackman's performance earned him an Oscar nod and became a cornerstone of civil rights cinema. Yeah. So, there's that. He won an Oscar. Or did he just get nominated? I'm not sure. Mississippi Burning. Mississippi Burning. Alrighty. Well, Stuart, good job. You were awesome. And sorry you don't have much help tonight. The gang's not all here for sure. I don't have a doctor in the house, but I didn't need one tonight. I'm feeling good. So hopefully you're feeling good. I think we'll call it quits tonight. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. No, not much competition tonight. But hey, the shows coming up are going to be really good the next few weeks. Let me just throw those out for you. So, like I said, it is Liz Taylor and Oscar Snubs on Sunday. And then the following Wednesday, we're going to do our Halloween special. So I've got 3 new 20-item categories of Halloween movies, 3 different categories. So that should be a lot of fun. And then the following Sunday is Marlon Brando. So we've got them all lined up. We got lots of good shows coming up. So don't be a stranger. Everybody come on back. I've got a couple shorts from my new series on my own character doing the time travel back in time to help out with architecture back in history. So I'm going to play those for you on the way out the door. And once again, thank you guys so much. And we will hopefully see you on Sunday at the same time.
Nation, set for a faith-based project with excellent ceilings.
Temporal jump, calibrated to early Gothic era.
So this is where height meets holiness.
We built to touch heaven if all trying.
This view's worth the permit fees. Bring it and wake the city.
These arches will need counter thrust control.
We call them flying buttresses, sir.
but like a safety net in every century.
Prayer is the net here, master.
I finally understand why light is a building material.
God is in the details, monsieur.
I may have invented the first change order.
Report filed under soaring ambition.
Coordinates locked. Dawn, July 16th, 1945. Something's about to...
Los Alamos engineers working under code names, humanity's smartest minds, and maybe its most frightened. Doctor, you've built the unthinkable. Do you ever worry we'll use it before we understand it?
Understanding never stopped us before.
10 seconds until mankind splits the atom in half, and maybe itself with it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
In one breath, they proved it could be done. In the next, they wondered if it should have been.
Light brighter than creation, and silence before the roar.
Some inventions mark progress. Others mark the end of innocence.